Hello, everyone. Are you ready for another adventure? It's me, Wokey, and I'm here with my brother, Knux.
Hello.
And we're back for more ranking of the coolest NPs in FGO. We need a name for this. That's easier to say than the long description thing that we have right now. Basically, this is a series in which me and my brother are going to determine what is the coolest FGO NP in the game, starting from the early servant IDs and the early servant and noble phantasms until we eventually reach the end of the 400 something plus servants that are currently in the game. By the time that we are recording this and by the time we get there, it will likely have already gone into 500. Very likely.
Very likely, unless we start pumping these things out.
Like crazy. But right now they're once a week every Sunday. So look
Or if
forward.
we boaster how much we do a day.
Yeah, basically. That or we do a large amount of them instead of 10. Right now we're doing 10 and we're going through the early ones. So there should have been an introduction at the beginning that explains our current top 10, so we're not going to go for that one, but we'll see if that changes after this. So we're going to start with the next 10 servants that are going to be on the list, which are, I'll give them just right here up front, at the front. We have Emiya, Gilgamesh, Robin Hood, Atalanta, Urale, Arash, Kukulin, Elizabeth Bathory, Benkai, Musashibo Benkai, or Benki, and Kukulin Prototype. Those are the 10 up for this one. Are you excited to see some of these?
Sure, we'll call it excited.
Yes, so we'll start with Emiya with Unlimited Blade Works from 2015. Obviously, we will start our rankings after we reach the end, not at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
So we'll start right here.
And specifically at normal speed. Because
Yes.
his NP changes depending on if you're 2 times or not.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go right now. Start showing it right now.
Good.
Okay.
I am one of Unlimited Walks.
Whoa! Barely doing any damage to that
Skeleton.
almost next to none. So we'll go back here on here. So how are we feeling? So this is the original 2015 version. I was calling them 2017 because that was the start of NA, but to get the actual original we have to go back to when it launched on JP. So this was his original 2015. He launched with this one. The beginning is nothing but him holding his hand to his heart and doing the Unlimited Blade Works.
Like prayer?
Yeah, prayer. Unlimited Blade Works, which is, of course, amazing. But is this as good as the Nobu version?
It's hard to say because
If you don't know,
we can't really compare the Nobu versions to any of them unless we're talking about the actual Nobunagas.
yeah, we'll put that. I'll put that one up here as a bonus. But if you don't know, there was during Guda Guda there was a
Specific Nobu.
yeah, there was a specific 7 Nobus based off of the 7 servants from the first Fate's Day night, and they were all voiced by the original voice actors for those servants. And one of them was Emiya, and he did Unlimited Nobu Works, where he just went Nob Nobu, Nob 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 Nobu. It's one of my favorite. Of course, the actual animation of it is just a normal attack, so it doesn't go for it, but it's still very funny.
Nob Nob. Nob 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 Nob. Nob. Nob Nob Nob. Nob 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 Nob.
Now, in terms of this animation, we got Big Head Mode Emiya, original sprite.
It's Big Head Monevia.
Yeah. I feel like up until he lets go of the fire, that's when it, like, when it kicks in and you actually see the background,
Yeah.
that's when it's good. But before then, it's kind of like a pretty basic NP to start. But once this
It's
kicks
very
in,
fan servicey.
yeah,
You know, this is based off of Fate.
yeah, they're playing the music as well, which I think also helps heighten it a whole bunch.
It's the same with Nero,
Yeah,
basically.
pretty similar to Nero actually, where they're throwing the roses and they're playing the music. So. And I also like that the skeleton is the one that they're fighting in the NP.
Just the one skeleton. They could have showed 3 skeletons to show you that this NP is AoE.
Yep, they could have, but they did not.
Yeah.
Very funny in that case.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Emiya's. We'll start with him, and then we'll move on to the next one, which will be Gilgamesh from 2015.
Enema Elish.
Enema Elish, correct. And this one is... If you want to know how old this one specifically is, under the things that I was looking for it had it from older. It had oldest. This is the absolute oldest. So we're going to start it right now.
原初の断りを知るがいい。エヌマエリシ
Definitely got the short end of the stick for being our first limited 5-star.
The first limited 5-star, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, they murdered this NP. This is one of the coolest NPs in all of Fate, right?
Yes.
They murdered this one. No wonder. So he eventually gets an animation update, I want to say, in like...
Several times.
Yeah, several times, but the next one he gets, I think, is in 2 years' time. But this is what they launched with him in the game at the beginning.
It wasn't an original, he puts it up to the air and he throws it down. He just, on the ground, thrusts it forward.
Unbelievable that they thought that this was okay. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. This is a travesty. It might just be because Enema Elish is so cool and they just didn't even bother to really get any aspect of it.
Feels like they spent more time with Emiya than they did with Gilgamesh.
They definitely, yeah, they spent way more time. It's funny how all the ones that they spent time on were the 4-stars. It was like Emiya, it's Nero, it's even say Lily, it's one of those. It's so weird that they barely spent any time on the limited 5 NPs.
For their seller of the game.
Yeah.
Like the beginning.
And also early days, it was not easy to get a 5-star. If you think it's hard now, those beginning days before they upgraded, like it used to cost, what did it used to cost? Because the St. Quartz cost used to be even higher, didn't it?
Yeah.
It used to cost 40 St. Quartz for a multi, right?
Let me double check.
I want to say it used to cost 40, and then they cut it down to 30 a couple years, like a year or so later. But it did not used to cost 30 St. Quartz to do a multi. It used to cost, I want to say, 4 St. Quartz for a single, and then 40 for a full multi. And then at some point, they cut the rate down. Now imagine grinding that much St. Obviously on NA, we did not get that. Ours started with...
No, we started... Yeah, 4 quartz for one single, 40 for a multi.
So you grind up 40 St. Quartz, going for your boy Gilgamesh, and they hit you with this. Borderline unexcusable. We're gonna move on now, but he eventually does get a much better version of Enema Elish, but the launch version of Enema Elish,
not good whatsoever.
So
it's Siegfried tier.
We're gonna have a conversation, but it is 100% Siegfried tier. So we'll move on to Robin Hood with ya boy. Where is it? There it is. Go right here.
I was gonna say you could just play it next.
I could just do it from there, but I like to have a little transition here since I do edit this slightly. Even this is more for our benefit to make it easier for me to know the cues, the visual cues of when to start the video. Anyway, starting now.
Comes you bow. Big tree. 3D animated big tree.
Big tree!
And now it's the background.
Oh, poisoned big tree. Okay. I think that's alright, actually.
It's fine.
I think it's perfectly fine. I like the 3D vines that show up to hit up the skeleton man. And then when it actually goes, you get a tree, and then it's just straight up a PNG of a tree.
Then
it turns evil. It gets sick.
It's poisonous.
It's poison tree to signify that it's poisoned, and then the skeleton man gets poisoned. Do you remember before? So if you don't know this, Robin Hood had to be nerfed because the original version of Robin Hood was so unbelievably broken in the damage multipliers that he could do that they had to actually nerf him because he was by far the strongest single target archer in the game. which is hilarious to think about. He still is really good. To be fair, they nerfed him, but he's still very strong. It's just not the way it was. We talk about it's the Mr. Krabs talking to SpongeBob by a fire when we talk about Launch Day Robin Hood.
Launch Day Robin Hood, yeah.
Launch Day Robin Hood
He's
is a
definitely
damage.
not as great as he used to be, but he's still very good.
Yeah, for sure. Early days though, he was definitely one of the top ones. You either used him or you used Urale for single target content stuff. So that's Robin Hood. Let's move on to Atalanta. And so we're gonna go Atalanta, and the name of her noble phantasm is called the Phoebus Catastrophe, or the Phobos.
Close enough.
Phobos, yeah, close enough for it. So here we go right now.
二大神に立てまつるポイボスカタストロフ
Just a rain of arrows.
Yeah, okay, that is, like you said, a rain of arrows. What can be said about this? I like the little particles at the bottom.
The particles are nice, but then nothing
And
changes
then
on the bow.
Absolutely nothing changed. And then it's just a bunch of shots. Not even anything signifying that she's about to shoot a shit ton of bows or anything like that. No.
She doesn't even have a quiver.
No. Her little, like, it's a basic ass bow animation. And then, yeah, they get hit a bunch. This one's not 100% great to me at the moment. I left it on a super shiny one. I should not have done that. Yeah, not very good. Though again, this one shot of it, looking right here, looks like it has promise to it.
It looks like there was going to be something there.
It looked like they were about to cook something great, but then they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So that is Atalanta. Let's move on to Urale.
Urale.
Okay, put that in the
Oh, she's quick.
She is very quick. This one actually took me a little bit. I had to go slightly deeper to find it just because, for whatever reason, it was actually kind of hard to find. So here we go. Urales, let's go.
Damn.
Very simple.
Oh, now it's done.
Yeah, now it's done. And also, the name of her noble phantasm is the Eye of Urale.
The queen of the early game.
She was, yeah. Fun fact, because if you don't know this, it depends. I really do feel like if you played NA versus JP, you had two different experiences. Because if you played JP, you probably had no idea how good Urale was until after you got to what's his name from Camelot? Gawain, yes. And then you were like, okay, shit, I need a single target single target archer. But if you were on NA, you already knew what was coming for you, and everyone had like a year and a half to prepare for Gawain, and you either built up Robin Hood or you built up Urale, and for me, it was Urale, and she absolutely devastated that man.
I didn't use... I had Kentucky.
Oh, you had Kentucky, so you could just go in there, but yeah. She definitely made that part of it super easy for me, for sure. And in terms of this Noble Phantasm, I think it's all right. It's
fine.
got a little heart. It's put a little bit more. I like the little heart effects that go on after you hit it.
And then the little flash, it shows that he got charmed.
Yeah, and she's also, and in the early days, one of the best. Obviously nowadays it's Kama is the best.
Charmer.
Correct. But yeah, I find it very effective. Noble Phantasm, very simple, very clean, but it works. They did with what they had, and it works out for me. So that's Urale. And let's move on to the next one. Arash. This one is insanely quick, but this is maybe one of my favorite. This is also old Arash Sprite, my boy. Big old head. This it is. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, don't blink. And then he kills himself.
They don't show the fact that he is dead, but he is dead after this.
He is dead after this. So Sprite worked to start. I don't know how you feel. I've never been able to accept the man Arash that we have now. In my head, when I use Arash, I imagine him with this sprite. I still think of him as that weird man with the big head.
With the tan skin.
With the tan skin. This is my boy. He's about to kill himself using Stella.
And he's about to clear this node.
Yes.
This wave.
This wave. Stella is also, I think, my favorite Noble Phantasm. If it's one of my actual, legitimately, across all series, including animations, I think I love Stella the most. Just because it is the most, I'm about to just completely kill myself after doing this move, and I'm going to cause a big explosion. But also the chant that they do in the story, and then also eventually it got animated as this long thing where he does the full thing. And they could have done that with Araj, where it's similar to Emiya, where he does the full chant and then he kills himself. But no, they have never done that.
They have never really acknowledged his chant that usually goes along with Stella.
Yes,
his NP.
They know people love it. They know it. They
have that man say that chant every time he is at a panel.
They do. It's a wonderful chant. It's great. But I love that they've kept it to where this Noble Phantasm is a simple 6-second, okay, boom, I blow up. Like, he lifts up, goes, alright, blows them up. You don't even see the arrow coming towards them, really. All you see is the giant fireball, and then everything dies, and then it's over. And then he, like, disappears afterwards. I will say one thing that is nice that I don't remember if they had it in the old version, but they have it in the current version where you don't see the death animation, he's just gone. And I think that's always been a very nice touch to it, but I can't remember if it's something that the old one always had, or it's just something that they added for the new sprite. Do you remember?
I feel like it's a new thing.
Alright, then that's points for the new one, but yeah, I like this Noble Phantasm. It is very simple. I'm not going to sit here and say that it is not that, like, just super crazy simple, but for some reason I really like just the simplicity of it. And also the damage. I think a lot of it is also just the damage of doing a buttload of damage, and then he just goes away.
He soon is going to become a farmer again. With this upcoming summer, no?
I believe so. He should be. I mean, you can still use him to farm.
You can still
now.
use him to farm, but he's never been a 3-waver.
Oh yeah, that's true. He's more of a
one and done, and then you let the servant you want to actually do the last two.
It's definitely for people who are like, well, I don't have the proper supports, so I have a way to hit it twice, but I can't 3-wave it. Mm-hmm. Okay, then Arash just takes care of the first wave, and then you go from there. But alright, that's his Noble Phantasm. Let's go on to Kukaling, who's using Gay Bulge. And this is, again, another 2015 one because it is the older version of it. If you're wondering when are we going to stop saying when is this a 2015, wait till the last unit on the list who did not get it, who has never received an update. He joins, who's the other character here who never got a... Gilles de Reyes, who has never gotten an animation update ever in the history of the game. Okay, here we are with Gay Bulge, and starting now. Whoop. Right on the leg, and then Insta-Def, which never happens for me. Personally, I've never seen him activate Insta-Def a single fucking time in my life.
I've seen it happen.
Have you seen it happen?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough then. We'll start. I like again, sometimes the big-headed sprites don't work for everyone. For some reason with Ku, I think it works, and I probably think it's the little smile that he has on here.
Yeah, probably. He has a big mouth.
Yeah, he has a big mouth.
Compared to other servants.
Yeah, a very basic Noble Phantasm, but at the same time, it's Gay Bulge. There's only so much that you can do with Gay Bulge that is it's literally just show the whoop whoop, going for it. The only unfortunate thing here is that I think this one actually suffers from the sprite work in terms of hitting them. Yeah. Because you're supposed to aim for the heart, because this thing always hits for the heart, but he always hits like whatever random part the sprite has, which in case
it's hard to do that when some of the sprites don't really align with the Gay Bulge.
Yeah, they don't really. And this is true for a lot of servants, Noble Phantasm. It was like, how does it work with these units where it really shouldn't? Where it's like, okay, it's a big unit. What happens if you suplex them? The answer is a giant PNG
gets suplexed.
Gets suplexed. It's not like they magically have a body now. No, that's not what happens. And sometimes it's for the better and sometimes it's for the worse. But for Ku, I think it's perfectly fine for Gay Bulge. It could definitely be better. But for a first try compared to a lot of the others, at least I recognize this as Gay Bulge. It's not like Gilgamesh where I'm like, did you even just do the move? Was that even close to what you were trying to achieve? So, all right. Moving on to the next one, which is Elizabeth Bathory with Bathory Elizabeth from 2015. Original Liz. It's going to get really crazy when we have like 50,000 different versions of Liz on the list, but it's okay. We'll probably change her to Liz Lancer because at least all of them have different classes, yeah. But right, here's Liz, and starting now. Big castle.
Castle's up. Here comes the music. Now, they don't show this till future iterations, but the speakers are part of the castle.
They are. In terms of a simple noble phantasm, I actually do like that she summons a little house in the background.
It's her.
Her castle.
Her mansion,
Yeah, the Elizabeth castle. I think that bit's good. I like that they have the sonic waves to make sure to show its sound. I like that they get hit with the sound first, and then they get damaged. Like a delayed reaction to the singing.
Then they get poisoned.
Yeah, and then they get poisoned for some reason, which I'm not sure why.
She was a blood kind of woman.
I mean,
It's confusing.
It can be a little bit confusing. In terms of the early sprite here, this is still an okay sprite. It just still looks like Liz.
It looks fine. She's always had that big head, to be fair.
Yeah. I think probably a big head works better for what she's going for, which
It's
is
just
like...
that her eyes are a little bit small.
Yeah, actually, funny enough, the eyes could be bigger in this case to fit the full Liz experience that you want out of it. But in terms of everything else, you got the little ribbons on the legs, the tail. It's not the worst. It's
Still don't have her.
You still don't have Liz?
Nope.
How?
Don't know.
You have all the other Liz's, right?
Yeah.
Do you have Camilla?
Yeah.
Do you have Summer Camilla?
Yeah.
Or Carmilla, not Camilla, not our cat.
Not our cat, but yeah, Carmella. I just don't have the original Lancer.
That's hilarious. I feel like you have to actually try to not get Liz.
I've been trying. My thing is trying to get all the Fate Extra units. She's the only one who isn't showing up.
The only one that refuses to show up. That's hilarious. But alright, that's Liz's. Next we have Musashibo Benkei. With the Goyaku Rakan Gudoraku Tokai? Yeah, something like that. Something close to that.
He'll say it.
He'll say it at the beginning, thankfully for us. And here... Wait.
This is a fast one, be careful.
This is an extremely fast one. Alright, and here we go.
He doesn't have his animation update.
Yeah, not yet. No, they do animation update him, actually, because this is from 2015.
No, yeah, he does. That's what I was saying. He doesn't have it yet, so it's fast.
Yeah, this one was crazy fast. Yeah, if only this was a little bit slower, because I actually think this one's actually kind of sick.
This is better than Dion's when it comes to showing a big old circle.
Yeah, in terms of an impact, this one shows legitimate impact. It shows something cool. It shows the Buddhas. It shows the 3 going up. It shows everything. You get a little light show. Like, compare that to Dion's, like, literally just slapping a sticker on the screen.
And it fades in.
Yes, exactly. This one is worlds better, and you actually see them get recoiled a little bit from it, with the main issue being that it's just so crazy short. I also think this one might be on 2x speed, is what I'm going to be guessing here.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this early Benkei sprite?
It feels like nothing's really changed.
No. How do you feel about Benkei in general? I feel like we don't acknowledge Benkei enough.
He only shows up if Ushi Wakamaru is there.
It's true. We never get an event where... Do you remember that one event in the... I think it was in... Was it Onigashima? It was the one where Raiko debuted in. Not debuted. Yeah, debuted in.
Onigashima.
Where he was just inexplicably huge for some reason, and they never acknowledged it. He was just really fucking big, so throughout the entire story, he just had, like, his body as the sprite to talk to you and nothing else.
Yeah.
They're like, isn't there something weird going on with Benkei? And then Ushi Wakamaru's like, nah, he's fine. And then they never acknowledged anything past that.
They never talked about it.
No, he's definitely one of the ones where, like, they don't talk about him too much. But he's not like, I'm trying to think of, like, a lower tier of being forgotten, and it might be Darius. Like, Darius level, where He only shows up for Christmas because of one joke they made of Darius age 3
Yeah.
way back at the early subset of the game, and that's the only time Darius is ever allowed to show up in story for anything. Alright, but that's Benkei. Let's move on to the last unit on the list, which is Kukulin Prototype with Gabulge. This one has never received an animation update.
So this is how it looks like.
This is how it looked like. This is how it always looks like. It will. Who knows if they'll ever update it? Maybe it's perfection. So we'll go here. 3, 2, 1.
It is. And death.
And
Glad to
then
know
if-
that they calculated after damage.
Yeah, of course. So funny enough, this one's actually better than Ku's
Yes.
because of this part here at the beginning where he's looking at the moon.
The moon's in the Ku one.
Is the moon in the Ku one?
Yes. You just forgot.
No way. I don't feel like. I need to see it again. I need to see if Ku had the moon. Ku did have the
It's just
moon.
faster. He has more time in the moon.
I guess he does. I guess this is just exactly the same as Ku's then.
Yes.
Except for eventually Ku got updated, but Ku Prototype never got an update.
It's because they haven't really do anything with Prototype.
It's true. They like to. They prefer not to acknowledge most of Prototype unless you are Arash in some capacity. So there we go. There's our last man. Last man down, and that's the last of the Noble Phantasms for now.
Yep.
Go out here, go out there, and then I will pause real quick because now we get to deliberate on what's coming up on the list. One moment. I'll say, all right, we're back, and this time we're back on the board to talk about what it is. So to take a quick look at what our current top 10 is. It is Nero Saber, number 1. I forgot to put the exclamation point. I'll put that in later. That's the exclamation point at the end of the parentheses. Saber Lilia, number 2. Altera Saber. Saber Alter Saber. Caesar. Mash. Saber. Gilles de Reyes Saber. And Chevalier Dion and Siegfried at 10. So now we're obviously going to 20. So we should start with number 20, I suppose. So we'll go down.
We're gonna
here.
fit. I thought we were gonna fit all 20 on here. There's gonna be a lot of room to fit when we
Yeah.
get to 30.
It is going to be a lot.
feel
We'll
like
probably
we
have to figure out
We
something.
probably
but-
should stick to the 10.
Should we stick to the 10? Because I feel like we have to acknowledge the bottom at least.
We'll acknowledge the bottom below the board.
Okay. We'll call this the
Cool.
didn't... Oh, wait. Let me... I'm trying to remember what I put for this one because I most recently did a mean thing. Okay, there we go. Okay, put here... didn't make the cut of top 10. No, I feel like we have to number these. I feel like we have to...
You're gonna find you need to find a bigger board then.
No, I think we'll be fine right here. All right. I'll figure it out. We'll start with number 20. Who's the worst?
Compared to Siegfried or Gilgamesh.
It's either Siegfried or Gilgamesh. And I have a feeling by the fact that they did it to Gilgamesh, Gilgamesh should be the worst NP in the game currently. That's my current feeling. How do you feel, though?
I would say maybe the little speech he gives at the end gives it some okay with it. Because Siegfried kind of just says, okay, beam.
It's just so nothing to it.
Yeah.
There's at least a little bit more put into it compared to... Okay, fine.
Gilgamesh is bad, but Siegfried's at the moment is still irreparable.
Okay, fine. So we'll say Siegfried is still number 20. And then next is for number 19. That is clearly Gilgamesh.
Yes.
And then we have 18.
Which
Okay.
I'm going to say, I'm thinking Dion here.
You're thinking Dion?
I feel like we should still knock him to the lower end of what we have.
Yeah.
Because the recent NPs we really looked at don't seem that bad.
Yeah, none of them will seem worse than Dion. So I will give you that. I'll give Dion at number 18.
Yeah.
And then next we have...
Number
17. So originally above them was Gilles de Reyes. Did any of the new ones that we see, were they better than Gilles or were they worse than Gilles?
No, they definitely weren't No one is outbeating Gil's de Reyes on Saint World Order.
Okay. So we'll put Gil's
Saber.
Saber. Yeah, that's a good one. Gil Saber. He's now currently at number 17. And then we'll go to 16. And we'll say who
It
was...
was Saber Excalibur.
Yeah, the OG Big Head, which is Saber. So, I feel like, was any of these that you see here better than Saber's? Were any of the new ones to you felt better? Were all of them better than Saber?
One of the coups need to be down here.
Okay. So we need to acknowledge that eventually Kuka Lanes will be better. So I think Prototype will probably fits down below at 16.
Okay.
So we'll
put coup and then coup.
Coup
Proto.
Prototype. Which this is likely where he will forever stay. And then I will go put this on the side here. Then we'll go
Yeah,
here.
till Dion, Gilgamesh, and Siegfried leave.
Yep, Coup. I guess I'll put OG. Because both of them are Lancers now that I think about it. Alright, so that would make Saber OG the...
Number 14.
Yeah. Number 14. And then we go to 13. Oops.
I feel... no, I'm thinking 13 should be Saber, and 14 should be Atalanta.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. So go... Oop. Don't worry, folks. I got this. Bow. Just because it's faster than typing in Archer, because there are two of them.
There are two.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's likely fair. Atalanta's is worse than Saber's. Not to say it's bad, it's just very basic.
Yeah.
Actually, is Atalanta's worse than Ku's then?
No, I don't think so.
But he has like a little moon. Atalanta really doesn't have anything.
No, she just has sparkles.
She just has sparkles. Basically, are we saying the sparkles...
No, I feel like we should put them under the coups then.
Yeah, when we think about it that way. Okay, I'll cut this. I'll go here. Okay, go here.
You just need to change the coup locations.
Yep, Ku, OG, and then Ku,
Proto.
Proto. Okay. So next we
That's a
have...
bit better.
Yeah, that feels better. Now that we talked about it a little bit more, I was like, well, I really do feel like the moon at least puts it a little bit... There's a little bit more going there compared to Atalanta.
12, this was Lord Chaldeus, which was MASH.
Yeah, next would be Chaldeus. Do we feel...
Originally, I don't know. It's just a big old shield popping off.
Here's a big old shield popping up. Let me look deep inside here. Benkei's I really like.
I do too.
I like Liz's.
I like Yubo as well.
You can probably make the statement that Stella probably deserves to be down here just because there's nothing too fancy.
There's
about
nothing
it.
to it, yeah.
There's nothing really fancy to it. The fact that he's even made it this far
It's
up.
just an explosion.
Yeah, it's just an explosion. It's a funny explosion. But at the end of the day, it's an explosion. Like, likely as we go on, eventually
We will reach...
we'll reach the point where they'll get an animation update, but I still feel like Arash is better than the ones that are below him.
Yeah.
Even though his is very basic, it still works very effectively at what it's doing. 11. And then finally...
I feel like the thing deciding here is, do we feel that Lord Chaldeus is better than basically Eye of Urale?
I don't think it is. I feel like it's, like you said, it's a very big shield, but I feel like they put more into the Urale compared to MASH.
Yeah.
But with the shot, the way it goes into it with the single bow, like Urale is the only archer currently whose singles bow shot actually has a follow through and an actual animation of an arrow going into someone. So I think for that we'll put MASH at 11.
And then I feel like we should put Caesar at 10.
I think that's where we start. So this is the current The bottom 20. The bottom 10. So we will put these away. And then we will go... I'll go here. I'll start again. So we have 10. We have Caesar. I forget which version of the way do they spell it here. It's Kaiser.
Kaiser.
Did I get it wrong again?
Yeah. No.
Is it ER?
AR.
It's AR. Okay. Caesar.
Caesar.
Rend under him. He's not numbered 10. Number 9 next above him would be Saber Alter, Excalibur Morgan. I do feel like all the new ones that we see here are better than hers. So we're going to put her next.
I feel like we're reaching into the range where we're cutting some of the filler.
Just a bit. But first we have to get through a lot of them. Next is Altera. Altera's Photon Ray, little 3D sword, spin around. Do we feel that that's better than any of the new ones that we saw today?
I feel like it.
Alright, so we'll stop here. Do we think...
I feel like it's either Uralia or is Robin Hood, no?
And then probably below it? Let me think. This one's a little bit tough, because I feel like I actually do like Euralia's a little bit better than Altera, but let me look at Altera's real quick.
We're going to cut, or we're going to look at it right now?
Well, yeah, actually, I should cut right here, and then we'll make our decision. Yeah, we're back. Altera's is better. After the deliberation and looking at it, I can
Don't worry,
we can confirm.
the cut here will be Altera driving through. Bring us back.
The cut through as we go through. All right. We'll go 8 is then... Do we think that Robin Hood is better or Euralia is better?
U-Bow is cool, but I don't think it's as cool as Eye of Uralia.
Yeah, I feel like
the 3D vines really sell it to why it's getting up here.
Yeah.
I just feel like the bow being shot out and traveling has more impact than the tree.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's very fair. So we'll go Robin Hood at number 8. That means Euralia gets this current spot at number 7. I'm surprised that I was able to spell that any form of correct. Euralia, yeah, Euralia. Okay.
Eye of Uralia, yeah, you got it right.
And then we have number 6.
Number 6, so this is between Altera, Benki, Elizabeth, and Emiya.
And Emiya still, yeah. So, do we like Emiya's Unlimited Blade Works better than the Altera spin?
I feel like we do.
I feel like we do. I think that's correct. The giant Liz summoning a house, is that better than the spin?
I feel like it's not as good as Emiya.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to say if it's better than the spin, not really.
Okay, not better than the spin. Is Benki's little animation of the Buddhas showing up, is that better than the spin?
Not really.
Okay. So then we're satiated for right now. We'll decide who currently goes currently. So it's between Benki and Elizabeth.
Yes.
Okay. Which one of these? I think I like Benki's more than Elizabeth. How do you feel about it though?
I feel like the castle coming up and definitely shooting out the sound wave was pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Benki's, which was probably just too fast, but the fact that it just erects itself on the enemy, you don't really get to see Benki at all when he launches his NP.
No, you don't. Not at all.
And I feel like it's more of like a POV NP than anything.
POV, this is happening to you?
Like this is from his point of view, which we've never really gotten to Servant till later.
I guess that's true. Okay, you know what? I think then Liz gets N6 then.
Yeah.
Liz, OG, and then we'll move here, and then Benki is at number 5.
Yes.
Benki. And then
Number 4
is the spin. Is Altera. Are we saying Emiya's is cooler than the spin currently?
I'm saying it's cooler than the spin.
It's currently in the current iteration of the spin, Altera spin that comes in at number 4.
And I think number 3 would probably be still Saber Lily.
Really?
Caliburn is nice, but I just feel like the entire thing of
Unlimited Blade Works, the signaling
there's
of...
so much I can give the dick beam.
But it's a dick beam.
Until we move on to the fact.
Show it real quick. Dick beam right through it. Alright, fine.
She hasn't lost her top 5 spot yet, which is the good thing.
She gets 3 dick beams out of 3. So we'll go Saber Lily at number 3.
Yes. Now this is between Nero and Emiya.
This is between Nero and Emiya. I guess it really comes down to, in terms of coolness, I really feel like Unlimited Blade Works is cooler than Laos St. Claudius.
Especially in the iteration it is now, it is not explosive or as cool as Unlimited Blade Works.
Yeah.
And we both don't even like Emiya.
We both don't like
I've
Emiya.
gotten over my hatred for Emiya, but you don't.
No, I've never. It's funny because whenever I bring it up, occasionally people will go like, "Why do you hate it?" It's so people don't want to hear it. People don't like my goat. Don't attack my goat, Emiya. I love Unlimited Blade Works, and I will always acknowledge the fact that Unlimited Blade Works is cool. I just don't. I just don't like Emiya that much. Though I've learned to like the versions not in Fate Stay Night a little bit better. I think
he's not much of a dick.
Yeah, I think my main beef is when he's next to the same room as Shiro and he goes on for 30 minutes.
About how much of a failure he's telling himself he is. Spoilers.
Yeah, he's like telling himself like, "Oh, I don't deserve the bullets, you idiot, you fool, you fucking idiot, dumbass. No hose. Get out of here." And then it's like...
And you died.
And then it goes around and then I'm staring and going like, surely... You were not this stupid. Anyway, this is not about my anti-Emiya crusade. This is about the coolest NPs. And currently, Nero OG sits at number 2. And we must acknowledge the tribal chief. Emiya. OG.
OG, because there is more Emiyas to come.
There is so... when we get to the other Emiya, we will just simply call him the triple OG, because he is OG in the fact that he is old as fuck. But that is the current coolest for go NP list. We'll start with... Where did this one go? We'll go to...
Didn't make the cut.
No, we forgot to get rid of didn't make the cut, but it's okay. But we'll go back down to the didn't make the cut list, which is the top to the bottom 20. Siegfried holding it down at number 20. Gilgamesh at number 19. Dion at 18. Gilles de Reyes, Saber at 17. Atalanta, the bow. I keep wanting to call her the bow of the goddess because of fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! It's at 16. Ku Proto is at 15. Ku OG is at 14. 13th is Saber OG. 12th is Arash. 11 is MASH. And then we actually get to the top 10. Which is... Oh my god, so many words. Okay. We have Caesar holding it down at number 10, still holding on to it as long as he can, but likely by the next episode, he's gone. He's gone from the top 10, very likely. Same thing goes for Saber Alter, but we'll see as far as Robin Hood, who is at number 8, Urale, who is at number 7, Liz, who was at number 6, Benki, who was at number 5, Altera Spin, keeping the OG, the old ones, all the other ones but Emiya away from the top 5, from the top 4. Saber Lily with 3 dick beams at number 3, Nero OG is the second coolest, and Emiya with Unlimited Blade Works is just too cool. And that is the coolest for go list for this week. Thank you very much for watching, especially if you watched all 40-something minutes of it.
Yeah,
appreciate.
Hopefully you don't hate our list.
Hopefully not.
But if you want to talk about what you think should be in the top 10, go ahead.
Go ahead. I feel like there's going to be some contention about Arash making it to 12.
And above Saber, yeah.
there might be a little bit.
There might be a little bit of the 6-second MP that beat out her little beam.
the baby Arash probably didn't need to go that high, and a lot of it is based off of how much I like Arash, but
I feel like a little bit people will be surprised to see Benki this high up.
when you consider, yeah, the fact that Bedkey is higher than
A lot.
almost a lot of them, but higher than Saber Alter than a lot of people, it's kind of crazy when you look at it that way, but
But we're going off coolness factor to us.
yes, coolness factor to us. So feel free to tell us about you if you disagree with the coolest, if you want to make your case for why you think one is cooler than the other. And we will be back next week with 10 more of the servant IDs. I can quickly look to see who they are because I did not
The
actually.
next 10 are going to be a doozy.
They're going to be a likely doozy. I'm also. It is also funny that Big Benkei is at number 5 while Gilgamesh is at 19 for her.
It's not that good. You can't blame us.
You can't blame us, blame them. Next is Leonidas, Romulus, Medusa, Georgios, Teach, Boudica, Ushiwakamaru, Alexander, Marie Antoinette, that's coming for. She's coming for Siegfried's spot. And Martha at number 30. Those are the next 10. Spoiler alert for what's next, but it's about to be the battle of the trash for the worst NB with her fucking PNG whores. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Don't spoil too much.
Don't spoil too much, but thank you very much for watching, everyone. We appreciate it. Feel free to leave a like or a comment. It helps out, but just watching enough is good enough for me. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Say goodbye, boy.
Goodbye.
Peace.